parallels. Save your fuel, just like Hamlin. Beat your favorite driver now. Come on, you great villain. He's gonna win in Michigan. Yahoo! Pour one out for this homeboy, Hocevar. Better watch out, he's gonna be good. It's a ride for 2,000 miles. Straight to Mexico, watch that dude. Come on, you great villain. He's gonna win in Michigan. Yahoo!
Well, I guess we learned what Puke Combs' favorite chocolate drink is. Yahoo! Welcome on in. Welcome on into Happy Hour. My name is Trey Lyle. Rocking the Dynaco shirt is Dalton Hopkins and Michael Massie joining us. Well, it's crazy how you and Puke Combs wear the same outfit every week. It's kind of nuts. Joining us now, driver of the number 71 Tableau TV Chevrolet for DGM, Ryan Ellis at Ryan Ellis Racing, joining us. Ryan, thanks so much for joining in. We had to get you on after we had Josh Balicki on, and you obviously were our commentator. So you have the distinction of being, I think, our first ever commentator to be on our show. Like, you comment before you were on the show. So
Josh might be second because he knows I'm on the show because we're texting right now. So
jeez,
tell him to crash it, crash the party.
Yeah, right.
To crash the party. But how are you doing? Thanks so much for joining us. And talking about your season so far, it seems like the team is building a lot of great momentum as they head into to the race this weekend in Mexico City.
Yeah, I think in raw pace, we're in a better spot than we've been all year. Unfortunately, I just came off of a DNF when we crashed under caution, on that stupid restart deal. But man, like, I feel better about where we're at than I have all year. We're just in a good spot, and I'm learning Mario. Mario's learning me, and it's been a really, really cool transition. I haven't really moved teams in a while, and before my career was just all moving teams. So just kind of soaking it all in, and it was nice to, well, not nice, but it was nice to not hate myself that much after our crash in Nashville because I knew how fast we were before.
That's how humbling is this sport, though. Like, you get your first ever top 10. First off, congrats on that.
Thank you.
You can talk about that in a second, but like, to just go from your first ever top 10 to a DNF, like that's NASCAR in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying self-fulfilling prophecy because I don't know if I could have done anything differently, but I just had a feeling. I'm like, I used all my luck last week, so I had a decent feeling that it was going to turn out that way. But yeah, it was just nice to come off a good week and be like, all right, the roller coaster isn't crashing through the ground. We're just going down a little bit.
I remember seeing you outside at the care center because I was there and like at the Nashville race, and I just remember seeing you like so sweaty and like so dejected. I think you said almost like the same thing that you just said, like, yeah, we used up our luck, and I'm like, oh man, come on, Ryan, like, don't be like that.
What's funny is right after that, I punched like a generator cart and definitely either broke or fractured this knuckle. So yeah. I was like fine from the accident, but I had to take my anger out on something. And then, so this is a lot bigger than this one is now.
Well, I hope that doesn't affect your steering at all.
Nope. I just ran like 30 laps at Mexico behind me. So,
you're good to go then. Yeah.
Yeah. Played some hockey. We're all set.
Well, I do want to shout you out here. I discovered this today. I guess you understand the power of Cameo with Brian which Brian is it's as long as it's not Brian Nolan, we appreciate the name Brian here. But I wanted to play this for if our fans haven't seen this, a little video you put together celebrating your top 10.
Brian, it's NASCAR driver Matt DiBenedetto here.
What's up, Brian? Hey, man, it's NASCAR driver Jeremy Clements here.
Wanted to congratulate you, man. That's awesome on getting your best finish in racing.
Congratulating you on your recent racing accomplishments, man. I know might have been a struggle at first, just learning everything, because racing is tough.
Racing runs through your blood like it does mine. It's an addiction, but it's a good one. We enjoy it.
But I hear you're getting the hang of it and doing really well, and man, that's freaking awesome. So DG wanted me to get on here and tell you how proud of you he is, and just keep getting after it, keep learning, keep kicking butt, trying to get better and better every time you get behind the wheel.
Wishing you the very best in all your upcoming races,
and just try to get better at your skill. So, but yeah, I heard you got your best finish and want to be like me one day, which is freaking awesome, and that's really cool to hear that. So, just wanted to wish you good luck, tell you a good job on your best finish, and hey, you never know, might go toe to toe one day on a racetrack. That'd be cool. So have a good one, Brian, and good luck in your future racing endeavors, buddy.
Wow, Ryan. I hope one day that you get to go toe to toe with Jeremy Clements on the racetrack.
Yeah, I couldn't go with Ryan, at least with Matt, but I could have probably gone away with it with Jeremy. Jeremy wouldn't have fallen. He would have still fell for it. But with Matt, I knew he would figure it out. And Brian's his dog's name, so I tried to cut the video so you couldn't tell what he said, but I was just happy. Jeremy took like a full freaking week to get the video to me, so not great customer service.
Did you reach out to any? Did you do any more drivers, or was it just those two?
No, I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
It's like $130 or something. I don't know what it was, but it was way more money than I'm
Holy cow.
proud of. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
expensive.
Didn't Carson? Was it Carson Husavar that did it for the All-Star race? Was it
his
last
was
year?
way better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
I
couldn't do it.
This was good.
I think he was really good. I like the DG. Was it DM?
DG Emerson,
Oh, got it.
DGM Racing.
Got it.
I was proud of that.
That was pretty good as well.
Nobody said it though. Yeah.
Did they text you after this came out, being like, have you gotten any reaction from this since you posted it?
So, man, they're old like me, and they live off the grid a little. So I posted it, and I kept waiting for the text, and it took like an hour. I was like, "Hey, check Instagram," and they're both like, "Oh, okay, give me a minute." I'm like, "Oh my god." So yeah, they eventually reacted, and I'm glad they weren't mad, obviously. But yeah, I can't remember what Matt said. He's like, "Dude, I'm dying laughing. Ha ha ha! You got me. That was so good." Jeremy's was just perfect. He put way more effort. He was coaching.
Well, Matt DiBenedetto was probably working out. Well, that's why he didn't see it right away.
Yeah, the whey protein got in the way.
Yeah, that pre-workout affected his judgment.
Yes, exactly.
I know you've talked about this throughout the season, but you make the switch to DGM this year, go full time. What has this transition been like, being in kind of this stable ride for this season? How's it felt from the driver's seat, and how's it felt as you've gotten in throughout the year?
I answer everything like a PR person because I was one for 4 years. So like I'll start that by saying, man, like I loved Alpha Prime and still love everybody there. And that's why I think I said Tommy's name probably more than anybody in all the stuff that happened post-race Charlotte. But it was really tough to move to DGM, and I have no doubt that it was the right move. And I knew that pretty immediately. And not that I didn't feel the same way about Alpha Prime, but like we go to dinners together as a group on Friday, and like I feel like we're on the same page. It like truly feels like a family because it is. Like Megan does her PR, is Mario's daughter, and Michelle, his wife, there, and like Madison, they're all involved in the program, and you can feel that passion like day to day. So, and they have your back through everything. It's just been really, really cool. Working with Tab Boyd's been so much fun. And I don't know, like I'm just in a really, really good place and just happy to be a part of it.
Shout out to Megan real quick. Like she's awesome. She's really awesome to work with.
This is the third time.
Awesome.
The third time we've talked to her about having somebody on. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah. It was Josh Williams, then it was Josh Balicki, and now we've got you on, right?
Which you don't have any milk sitting out, right? Because Josh Williams did, and he didn't realize it was an hour, and so he came back from the store and did it in his car, and he realized we that was one of our first podcasts, and we didn't clearly communicate that this is an hour-long podcast, which and he got back from the store, and he ends the episode when we get off the air, and he's like, Yeah, I just got back to the store. I have milk in the car, and I was like, "Oh, you should have told us. We'd been fine if you had to go."
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't live probably, at least to start. But no, I don't have any of that. Got my Zeros that was sitting in the garage. So that's hot. Gatorade that was sitting in the kitchen. I'm hydrated and ready to go.
Awesome.
There you go.
Nice and caffeinated.
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
top 10, that top 10 you got at Charlotte. When you joined this team, I mean, obviously, like, it's no disrespect to them or anything, but like they don't have the budgets of like a JRM or like a Gibbs or something like that, you know. Did you think? I mean, like super speedways, you usually see like the smaller teams get up there and get top 10s, but did you think like a top 10 at an intermediate track this year was a possibility?
I think the last few years have just kind of proven to me that you just have to be ready for that opportunity anywhere. I mean, good example was Brennan at Rockingham and the guys that finished top 10 at Martinsville this year. And I've been relatively close at Iowa last year and like some random places you just never know. New Hampshire had some wild top 10s a few years ago, but I always felt like DGM, like my approach when I was looking into it was that their highs were a lot higher, like whether it was in practice. And I saw Kyle Weatherman top 10 or Charlotte last year, he finished 11th and they had two or three top 10s. So I was like, that helps us sell races and that helps people believe in what we're doing. I think at the 43, we were really good at just being consistent. But I bought into the idea of like, we're going to get 2 or 3 top 10s this year. I mean, granted, I told myself that last year and it's working out so far.
Ryan, ¿cómo su español? Hablas bien?
Un poco. Yeah, man, I took Spanish for 3-4 years.
Same.
And now that I'm frozen up, so I don't remember any of it now, other than Biblioteca like everybody else.
Yo lo toco 5 años.
Took 5 years. Okay, so look at that.
I lost all of it. I lost most of it, I should say.
I know. Como te llamas is what's your name, and then no hablo inglés is I don't speak English, and then no hablo español would be I don't speak Spanish. I think como se dice is like what? Yeah.
How does this? Yeah.
Or you can say. All right, that's about it.
Donde está la biblioteca?
Man, I'm just gonna stay in my hotel. That's all. I'm gonna order Uber Eats and hang out. Yeah, I'm just gonna be a homebody. I've asked the Benedetto what he's downloading. If he's bringing like a Nintendo DS, I don't think he has that kind of stuff. But
get the Switch 2 and play some of that Mario Kart or something.
My wife has been all over me to buy one. We have not sourced one yet, so yeah.
I just
so is it a lot of Mario Kart or is it like Pokemon? Oh, Mario Kart?
Yeah, Mario Kart. I mean, Pokemon she'd probably play a lot of. Mario Kart was like our bachelor party. That's like the most fun NASCAR story I have. We had like a bracketed 3-race elimination tournament. Garrett Smithley won, unfortunately. There's a lot of alcohol involved, which is probably why Garrett won. But I think the Benedetto was top 3, but he didn't drink, so that wasn't fair. We're a big Mario Kart family.
Did you do that thing where you gotta like finish the drink before you do the race? Before you complete the race?
Yeah.
Yeah. So people were like 20-something shots deep, and it was a themed party of everybody had to pick a country, and Garrett's partner didn't show up, Smithley, and he had to drink for 2. So I have no idea how he won.
See, I'm taking notes right now, Ryan. This all sounds like a lot of fun, actually. So.
Yeah, we used to have fun. That's what I have to tell these stories because we're just homebodies now. We got 2 kids, and I'll just play a little Call of Duty tonight and fall asleep.
So was it what Mario Kart was it? Was it the Wii?
Well, I don't even know.
Okay, because my favorite Mario Kart is Mario Kart Double Dash. Like I will go to my.
Oh, that's a good one for the GameCube.
That's my favorite Mario Kart.
I'll text the what do you call it? The game commissioner. It's my wife. Mario Kart did we play?
Ryan, are you gonna play multiplayer or zombies tonight?
Unfortunately, like Warzone of some variety.
Gotcha.
Try not to destroy my desk, which happens every night.
That's fair. That's so fair. That's why I play zombies now.
And that makes Cody Ware got me into that a few years ago, and I don't have that level of time now.
Yeah,
several hours.
I respect that. I got a couple years before I have to relinquish my time, so I'm using it while I can.
Cody went and won with me, and it was like 4 or 5 hours, I think. And I was like, I got to go. And he's like, just leave your controller. Do not go. And I was like, just left my controller and just left. And like, when Aaron said,
We gotta finish the Easter egg, bro.
Yeah. Played with him, Connor Daly, Brad Perez will play occasionally, but really just Rich Marr, Flores, Jonathan Morrissey's like probably the only guy I'm going to play with tonight.
Oh, so you talk about, so if you're friends with Connor Daly, when you were watching the Indianapolis 500, how hard were you rooting for him at the end? Because he had, he had a real shot to win this.
So I know we were talking about it before, and I don't really watch much racing.
Oh yeah, you don't watch much racing.
The Indy 500 is like the exception to that, but I was at a 2-year-old's birthday party, so and it was the day after Charlotte where I'd actually gone out for the first time in a year and a half.
After your big top 10.
Yeah, I slept for 2 hours. Wasn't really hungover or anything. I told everybody, I was like, I'm here, but I'm not here. So I was just like a dead body sitting there watching it. But I was excited for him. He's a great guy. Way better at me than Call of Duty, though.
How is it
on pit road?
How is it having? Obviously, we asked Josh this, so we have to ask you this. I feel like that's only fair. How is it having Josh Bilicki as your teammate? Obviously, he brings.
Awesome. But I hate him. Yeah, he's actually the enemy this weekend. So
he's a different team.
Yeah, if I could pick my teammates, I feel like I would pick the exact people I've had the last few years. And Josh and I have the most similar background, I think, of anybody in NASCAR, in the sense we both came from Grand Am. I knew him 10 years ago, and we worked together at Biker Racing and Rick Ware. And like, I'm kind of talking about dad life stuff now, and he ruined my picture in the DGM hauler and like drew a mustache and all this terrible stuff on me. So he denies it to this day. But no, we were actually just shooting some feedback back and forth on Mexico. So we're helping each other. Don't know why, but yeah, we're good friends.
You should go snowmobile racing with him.
No, it's not snowmobile.
He takes to the ice without a motor.
Yeah, right? He technically won a world championship.
World champion.
No, Ryan gets on the ice without a motor. It was just skates.
Yeah. I could beat him at hockey. I love snowmobile racing, and he's a psychopath with the dirt stuff he does. But
now, hold on, Ryan. I know you don't watch much racing, but are you watching the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Yeah.
That's all right. Who's your pick?
Well,
Florida's up 2-1.
Is that who you want to win?
No, I didn't really care. Edmonton's just cool because it's like, Connor McDavid and all that. But I hate the Hurricanes, man. As long as it wasn't them out of the Final Four, I was happy.
So what's your team?
Caps.
Yeah.
Huge Caps fan. I got like my Caps.
Shout out to Ovi.
What's here?
He's a Nova guy.
Oh, nice.
That doesn't mean I know people from Nova that are not a Capitals fan.
I went to a Caps game.
Like a lot of Rangers, Flyers fans.
Yeah.
I went to a Caps game right before. Literally, I met this guy down here out of nowhere. I did not know he was there, and we saw each other at a Caps game 2 years ago, and I had a blast. That was a great time.
Yeah, I went to the Hurricanes game, and the Caps got destroyed in the playoffs, and some guy was screaming over me and my daughter's shoulder, cussing, and he was like, "I don't care about your talk." I'm like, I hate these fans. The Hurricanes fans are the worst. Like, I was going to get to fight at a Hurricanes game in the middle of the racing season.
It was going to look like last night, and was it when it was a 5-on-5 fight in the third period?
Several times.
After the Panthers outscored them 6-1. What was it? I don't know.
5-1, I think, at the point.
Those Florida fans.
Yeah.
Says Florida man himself.
I'm curious. There's a few guys in our garage that play. Like I play with a guy that's on the Joe Gibbs racing team, and I'm sure I've seen Dean Thompson post a lot about hockey. I don't know if he plays or not. Like, I think he used to play. Logano owns the rink that I play at, but I don't think he's played hockey in 10, 15 years.
I didn't know Joey Logano owned a skating rink or an ice rink.
Yeah, his sister was like training, like an Olympic skater trainer or something. So now she does all of her stuff there.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's the more you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know until I saw his dad
great
work
stuff.
at the desk. And his car's parked out front. That helps too. Yeah.
All right,
would-
we should
that would
probably
make sense.
we should probably start talking about racing.
Yeah, we should. What is racing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to Mexico. Hanging
Uh,
out.
Yeah, Mexico.
CCC. As always with this podcast, sit back, relax, crack open that cold one or warm Gatorade.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's perfect. Unless you're
Attaboy.
unless you are under the age of 21 or driving, because here at Front Church we do ask you to be responsible. And let's get into this. Dalton Hopkins, we are going to Mexico City, and the conversation I think Sunday pre-race had nothing to do with the race. It had to do with how are they going to get to the next race. Obviously, big weekend for NASCAR, but the first headache was obviously getting there, and I figured we start with that.
Yeah, I think so. The big story that if you were on social media like Sunday morning, you probably saw a lot of images of the haulers themselves, all the crews lining up the cars, the Mexico cars. They brought them to Michigan because they wouldn't have time to go back to North Carolina to load up the cars there and then travel to Mexico. They had to go straight to Mexico afterwards. So I don't know. I don't know what the decision process was when the idea was to go to Michigan the week before Mexico and make it what was it, like a 36-hour drive for some of these hauler drivers. God bless them. First of all, because
2,000 miles.
Ridiculous. Like the amount of driving these guys do with haulers and make sure they get there on time.
It's like the absolute tip of the United States to
We
Mexico.
go to Portland from Sonoma later this year too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be. That's what.
Yeah.
Well, how long is that? Is that a
That's
decent?
gotta be
Because
worse.
is it worse? Is it really?
Because Daytona is literally the southeasternmost race, and then Portland's all the way up that way.
Oh,
Portland.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought I heard Sonoma. Is Portland to Daytona?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Portland to Daytona. Yeah.
saying? Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. But still, I mean, like that's. I mean, before it was like we would go to the Clash, right before Daytona, and then we would go back to Auto Club.
Yeah.
There's at least a week in between for that.
Look, I've made that drive. I mean, not to California, but I've made the drive from Daytona to Arizona before, like just 10 minutes north of the border. That's a long drive. And it takes a lot, especially when you're somebody who's getting paid to transport all this equipment and your team, this multi-million-dollar team organization, is counting on you to transport all of your equipment to north of the border and to transport it safely across the border and deeper into Mexico. I think it's like an hour or two after you cross the border too. It's not like
It's like middle of Mexico.
Okay, it's even further down. Like it's a long drive. So I think there is something to be said here about maybe changing the schedule a little bit. I mean, we just had Texas 2-3 weeks ago. Actually, probably longer than that, but still, I mean, we had Texas like a little bit over a month ago, and it's right there. I mean, it's a lot closer than Michigan is. So
is Nashville. If you want to go even like
also true. I mean, yeah, also true. I mean,
do it after Charlotte. We all have to go back to Charlotte one way or another. Just do
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Go back to Charlotte, load up your car, so you don't have to load up 2 cars for Michigan or for Charlotte or whatever it would be. And then, I think there's a discussion there.
It was supposed to be Montreal from what I saw. So it's like Pocono, Montreal, then Michigan, which makes sense. But I don't know. We find out just like you guys on Twitter. So.
Well, yeah, and next is Pocono. You mentioned it. Now they're going to go the complete
Holy cow. Yeah, now you got to go back. I wonder.
Pennsylvania.
I looked it up, by the way. Daytona to Portland. Well, it should be the opposite, but it's over 1,000 miles more than Michigan to Mexico City. It's 3,000 miles.
So Ryan, are you going to ride along as they do that whole drive?
All right.
This is like a miserable enough travel week, man. We got to fly out Thursday morning, and I don't even know. I'm not trying to sound needy. I don't know how we're getting anywhere. I've had some media stuff get brought up, and it's like I don't know when I'm going to be places, when I'm going to be able to make a phone call, like how I'm getting places, how we're going to eat. I'm just getting on a plane with all my friends and family, not actually family, just some industry people, and see what happens.
Yeah, so is the travel for the driver's side this week different than it would be for a typical race weekend, or is it just kind of the exact same?
It's different than normal because normally we're on like 50-person planes or commercial. This week it's like I got an itinerary. There's 288 slots. I think it's close to 200, 250 people on the plane, and they have like staggered stuff. I don't know if I'm giving away NASCAR things. They're all going to come after me now for safety and protocol, but it's a production. I know that, and like I don't know how much they're hiding from us or how much I'm just not in the loop on, but like I said, I looked it up and Uber Eats exists, so I'll figure it out.
That's good.
Yeah, you're kind of like me when it comes to travel. Just tell me where I need to be and what time, and I'll figure out the rest later.
I think I've just learned to be that way because we're driving for enough small teams and rainouts happen. You're like, do we have a hotel tonight? I hope we do. If not, I'll just sleep in my car. We'll figure it out. I used to sleep on the Benedetto's couch half the time on the road, so it's been worse.
I tell you what I've heard. I don't know if this is for everyone in NASCAR, like if this includes the drivers and teams, but I know like the NASCAR personnel and like media and stuff have like a hotel they're staying at, and they're getting bussed over front to the track. So it's basically like hotel track, like nowhere else besides that is what it sounds like.
I thought there was a driver hotel, and that's my actual nightmare. So like being locked in a floor or a hotel with a bunch of psychopaths, that's like a real world episode that I don't want to be a part of. Luckily with my team where I want to be, and like with the Xfinity peasants, so very excited for that.
So okay, here's something crazy. Since we're talking about this, I just saw this on Twitter. This came out. Adam Stern tweeted this about an hour ago. While Mexico, this is from Ben Kennedy talking. While Mexico is the most logical choice from now, Ben Kennedy adds that NASCAR will take a race north of the border at some point soon. So it sounds like that maybe the talks of Montreal are still in play right now.
Yeah,
Montreal probably, and not.
That's what they were trying to do. When Iowa got added to the schedule, that was supposed to be Montreal, and then they did Iowa instead. And then, from what you said, Ryan, it sounds like this was supposed to be Montreal as well, and it ended up being Mexico. But yeah, I hope it happens at some point. It'd be really cool to go up there, I think. But
I don't know what we're gonna do with the Chicago date. I hope we go back to Road America, or at least consider it. I miss that track in Mid Ohio, like all those phenomenal road courses that got decent crowds.
Do you think? Would you enjoy Chicagoland? Like if they did, maybe
It's been 100 years since I've raced there, so I don't remember.
Yeah. I feel like that's more of a like cup fitting for the Cup Series than the Xfinity Series. Granted, I think the Xfinity Series can go anywhere and put on a great show. It's just that's how good this series is. But I feel like more people are looking at the Cup racing now and being like, this car would fit Chicagoland a lot better than whatever other place you want to go.
Yeah. And I'm fine if they send them to Chicagoland and trucks there and we go headline Road America. I think that's when Road America made the most sense, is when Xfinity was like the headlining show. But I don't know. I just like I could find a reason to like every single track on our schedule. I hated the Indianapolis road course, and that was the only track I hated, so happy that's gone. But yeah, literally I think I've liked every other track at some point.
Yeah. We just got a decent tip in the comments, which I agree with, is Ryan, when you're there, don't drink any unsealed liquids.
Yeah. From the man himself, Michael Finley.
Yeah. Well, we don't want you getting what do you call it?
Montezuma's Revenge.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun. Oh, that reminds. I bought all these altitude different things and like asthma prep stuff.
Yeah.
It's all right over my shoulder. So
Do you think that will?
the elevation's going to be?
Do you think that will affect the cars in any way, or is like, did y'all make special adjustments to like for the cars themselves? Because
okay, I've heard a mix of things.
Engines take less air. It's like I remember an episode of Top Gear where they were trying to ascend a mountain and the car stopped running when they got high enough because they couldn't get enough oxygen in it.
That was
I know, great. That was way higher.
Way higher, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it affected as they went up.
What mountain was that you said?
That was like Argentina,
It was in
it?
Argentina because they
South America.
Yeah.
I mean, I've raced it all
Bolivia? It
before,
might have
and
been
it
Bolivia.
sucks. It's terrible. I thought I was sick the whole time. I raced in Pueblo, Mexico, and I thought I was sick. We landed. I felt 100% perfect. I didn't realize I was like lethargic, headache, just no energy, like all day, every day. And yeah, landed, felt perfect. So I'm prepping myself this time, having experienced that before. And from what I've heard, our cars are like 21% down on power. So
Wow.
yeah, like it's going to be a pretty significant drop off. I don't know if that helps small teams or hurts small teams. Either way, it looks like thunderstorms, and I don't know if that's like Florida kind of thunderstorms or what. But I'm kind of just going in like it's going to be a spec Miata race, or it's going to be like running a plate motor at a road course.
Dude, if it's a spec Miata race, like no problem. Like that
Me and
sounds like
Blicky are
fun.
happy. Brad
Yeah,
Perez,
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say is it's the Bolivia special, by the way. I use the Google machine. Shout out to Top Gear.
There you go.
The OG Top Gear, to be clear. We do need to highlight this before we move on to our next topic. Marcus dropped a couple comments in our chat at 12:37 p.m. I think I made the link for the show today at 12:30, so he was just like ready to go. He said he asked us for everyone's pick to win in Mexico this weekend. Ryan, if you don't want to give a pick, you don't have to. And then he said he thinks Christopher Bell will sweep the weekend. So Ryan, if you don't want Marcus super mad at you, do not take out Christopher Bell. Apparently,
we both got on boards. Yeah, we good TV. I don't know. I'll let you guys go first on that.
Are we talking about Xfinity and
both.
Cup or just
yeah?
Cup?
He picked both,
Okay.
so we're gonna pick. I think it's gonna be. I think Cup is SVG. I just think I feel like his skill set and this being again a foreign track to everyone except maybe Kyle Busch.
Michael McDowell race there.
Okay.
That's the one I wanted to pick, but I'll look.
I'm gonna go SVG, and then I will go because I do think he gets his crowning moment, and I think this will be good for NASCAR. I'll say Daniel Suarez wins the Xfinity Series race because there's got to be. I mean,
he's got some
pressure.
He's not bad at road courses.
Yeah, he's won at Sonoma. The pressure on him this weekend is, I mean, it's immense. Like I don't think there's anything we can compare it to because it's not like we go to another driver's country for one race every. Like I don't know when the last time they did. Like I guess when Stuart Free, it's no comparison to if Trucks ran Montreal one year and Friesen was in the race and. This is so. I think for him, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Suarez for Xfinity and then SVG for Cup.
Yeah.
And Ryan Ellis finishes in the top 10. That's my bold.
I have faith, but I have blind faith every week.
I believe.
How's your rain racing ability?
Yeah.
Every driver's rain racing is the best in the garage. Just ask them. They all root for rain. We're all just a bunch of egotistical whatevers. And I've had a lot of success in the rain. I'll say that. But I don't know if it's lightning, man. I don't think we're going to race.
Is it that? If the horsepower is going to be down that much and the chance of rain happening is high. I mean, is it really that far fetched? There's a chance we could see a serious upset here.
Yeah, DGM stuff is so good. So not saying we can't win, but I wouldn't bet money on it. But it's possible. Crazier things have maybe happened.
Yeah.
I mean, my pick. Allmendinger would be a good one, right?
Yeah.
Allmendinger is a good one always. Yeah.
I really want to make a pick. Can you two?
Okay.
Go ahead, Massie. Go ahead.
I'll make one. I can't get away from the SVG cut. If we can pick the same, I don't know if we can or not.
Yeah, we can.
Cup, I think, and I think CZ Connor Zillage is going to be tough to beat on Saturday, but I think something's going to happen to him because it's just going to be some chaos at the end or something. I could see Quaffle ran second at Coda
before. Didn't he get a 40?
Oh yeah, he got
wrecked.
He was running second, and then he had a flat tire or something. So I could see Quaffle getting his first win in Xfinity because he has some TA2 experience.
And then Dalton.
Yeah, I so since he didn't officially say it, I guess I'll go ahead and pick Connor Zilic. I hate to take the boring picks, I really do, but I think it's gonna be 88s all across the board. I think we'll see a sweep. I think Zilic is gonna win on Saturday. And Ryan Nelson is gonna finish second place by about 5/1000ths of a second. It's gonna be that close.
5 minutes.
That's it'll be a good finish, but
No, going with your guy, Dalton.
That was
Man.
actually, dang it, he ruined my pick.
Oh.
I just put it on Twitter today that Chris
I
Buescher
kind of
was
like the original pick with Michael McDowell, but no, you're not wrong. Chris Buescher's a good pick too, but I
I just searched that on Twitter to find the stats, and I was reading it right now. He leads the field in top 10 results in road courses in the Gen 7 era.
yeah.
Obviously won at the Glen last year, outdueling SVG.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
going
was about to say that if anybody can beat SVG, Chris Buescher.
So we're
proved
all rolling with Trackhouse guys, basically. Justin Martin should be happy with us because Ryan just picked Ross Chastain, which
Ross was good. Ross won Coda a couple years ago.
That's a very similar track from what I can tell.
I hope they do the stage like they do in F1 for the winner, where they come like up
They're
the stage.
podium.
Yeah, they're doing the podium. Is it going to be the same one, like where they lift the drivers up? That would be really awesome.
So, and I want kind of like what they do with Max. Max had to sit on the car with wearing a sombrero. I want whoever wins has to sit on their car with the sombrero.
Should give
and
them
come up.
sombreros.
Come up.
So cool.
That's what I want. I'll be very disappointed otherwise. But there you have it. Well, Noah also set me up for my transition here. He's talking about don't count out Denny Hamlin in parentheses if he goes. Michael Massie, Denny Hamlin, is he gonna go?
First off,
Wow. Good
First off,
transition.
even if he races, Denny's not that good a road course racer, so I wouldn't pick him for the win. But no, obviously his fiance Jordan Fish is in her 17th year of being pregnant. It feels like that baby is overdue now. Denny has said, and if it comes down to it, obviously you don't want him to have to miss the race, but it's a good reason to miss a race, if anything, in my opinion. But yeah, we could see Ryan Truex make he raced at Daytona earlier this year in Xfinity, but his first race since then. And like on one hand, it'd be really cool to see Ryan get that opportunity. And guys, would it be, dare I say, the best opportunity that Ryan Truex ever had? Like, what do you guys make of this whole situation of Denny maybe missing, Ryan getting
I can speak to the dad side of it all because I was in not similar. I mean, me and Denny Hamlin, not similar situations. He's locked into the Cup playoffs, but we were like expecting our first or second child this year going into Daytona, and Balicki was due like 5 days after us with his first, and I think they were like 10 days before Daytona. We were a week to the day before Daytona, so I was really starting to panic, trying to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't think I could miss the birth, but I also didn't want to miss Daytona with my new team and everything. So it's a tough decision. I think he's making the right decision because you only get one shot at that. He's locked in the playoffs. He's won races before. We're probably going back to Mexico eventually. But, yeah, I mean, I'd be happy for Ryan. Like, I really like Ryan Truex, and I don't know if it's the best opportunity he's ever had because he's had a lot of pretty good opportunities in Gibbs equipment and similar, but it's probably the biggest stage he's ever been on.
And to add more context, he's already granted the waiver in terms of the playoff waiver with the playoff points because NASCAR said having a kid would be a expected what is that word? I'm blanking on. Excused absence. Yes. So, but I think another reason why he made the firm date of Thursday is why we talked about the travel here. It's it's not like it was in Michigan and Nashville where he can fly back and forth in a day to each location, whereas it's way more complicated flying back and forth to Mexico City, especially when there's a very large coordinated effort to to fly there and back already. So, yeah, I think Denny's making the right choice. I mean, he's locked in. He probably gets to avoid a travel headache, and he'll get to he'll be the only driver with two off weekends in the Cup Series that is full time. So he'll enjoy that as well. But yeah, I think all around this is probably a good call by Denny, and I'm glad it's so clear. It's just black and white. Like it'll be Thursday before everything, and then they'll have Ryan Truex fill in, which I think for Ryan Truex, that's just really cool to see. I think for him, just to get this opportunity, he's obviously done a lot with Gibbs this season on the off the track stuff. He did. You mentioned he raced at Daytona, so he's clearly still helping out Joe Gibbs Racing, and obviously he gets in the car in the Xfinity Series and wins. He's won at Dover multiple times now, so I think all around this is a good thing for Denny to have. I guess his first son, right? It's gonna be his first son. He has his 3 girls, and so and then 2 girls, and then hopefully for his son he doesn't turn off. Maybe he does a sim race and his daughter doesn't turn off the TV while he's watching or something. Like that. So, but all around, I think this is the right call. What do you think, Dalton?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, when I first saw that this was a possibility, this was the idea, was like he was not going to go to Mexico if it hadn't happened by Thursday. Which, by the way, I mean, at this point we're 48 hours away. I mean, we're getting pretty close now. So if I'm Ryan Truex, I'm getting a little excited at the moment, but to go out and try it. But when I first saw this, I was concerned because I was like, well, what does that mean? Is NASCAR going to grant him the waiver? Because, and this has been like a huge debate in the last few years, especially when it comes to like Kyle Larson missing the Coke 600 last year. People wondering like how lenient is NASCAR going to be with granting these playoff waivers? And it's a good. I'm very happy to see that the idea that they're going to give it to him if this does happen. I think, and for them to say it already, for them to say that up front is a pretty good thing. So it kind of just neutralizes any kind of debate. So Denny doing this, it's a good thing. It's great. And I was concerned that, I mean, we're entering I hate saying this, but we're entering the twilight of his career. I mean, we've got only maybe a couple more years at the least of Denny being in the Cup Series, and he's still putting out wins. I mean, I edited and read an article that we put out on frontstretch.com yesterday, written by Amy Henderson, and it was about Denny Hamlin's career as a whole, just kind of having that blemish of not winning a championship, and he is still in that part of his career where he can still win one, and he just proved that on Sunday with the win in Michigan. Now he's got 3 wins. He's matched with the most wins so far this year. He's still in championship contender. And I didn't want to see him give that up in what was going to be one of his last true opportunities to win that championship and remove that blemish from his career. But thankfully, NASCAR, it sounds like it's going to give him the waiver. So thank goodness. And with all that said, great for NASCAR, great for Denny. I really hope it's honestly great for everybody. I mean, because Denny gets to come back the week after and go to Pocono and try to win again there. And Ryan Truex will hopefully get that opportunity after all, to his best opportunity he's ever had. And I think that is the case. This is the best opportunity he's ever had. And I hope he gets more out of it. So overall, this is good stuff. I mean, I really, overall, this is just a good story. And I hope Denny gets a son and Ryan Truex gets a solid Cup Series start out of it.
Shout out to Wyatt Watson. Check out Through the Gears, our betting podcast. He's saying Hamlin to the Champ 4 this year with the momentum he has.
Yeah, I think he'll Denny will be like Bobby Allison. Bobby Allison won all these races and then didn't win a championship till the age of 45. Denny's 44 now. Like, that would be a cool way to
climb years.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But no, it is a really cool change for NASCAR. It is a change because I remember somebody said, and maybe this isn't true at all, but that Paul Menard was having a kid back when he was in playoff contention. So this was probably 10 years ago. and they would not agree to grant him a waiver. So that is a good change from then, if that story is true. I'll say that. As for Ryan Truex, if Steven Stump put out a great article in Front Stretch last week asking, where's Martin Truex Jr.? Like, we heard that he was going to run the Daytona 500. He did that, and that he wanted to run some Xfinity races. It kind of sounded like Martin and Ryan were going to kind of, run some races in Xfinity for Gibbs, and we really haven't seen any of that. So it is cool to see Ryan finally get that opportunity. If Denny does miss the race, so be a big platform for him.
All right. Well, final topic here as we're wrapping up happy hour with Ryan Ellis. Ryan, this weekend we had, unfortunately, the Xfinity Series was not in Michigan for the race there at the 2 Mile Oval. I tweeted this right after the race, the Cup race, after how epic it was. The most underrated track is Michigan, because it's never in the conversation for like the best track in NASCAR. Simply Charlotte, Kansas, Homestead. That's environment, Bristol, Darlington, Martin, so on and so forth. But it's never in. I've never heard someone bring up Michigan. And after the last couple of races there, and obviously this was, I think the trucks put on a really good show despite the wild restart at one point that shook up the entire field, but it led to a pretty interesting winner in Stuart Friesen. So who had a really great final restart to take that victory there in Michigan. I think it's the most underrated track. And I know you tweeted how you wanted Michigan, the Xfinity Series, to go back to Michigan. They had a great crowd there this past weekend. If I came up to you and said, "Do you think Michigan is the most underrated track in NASCAR?" Am I on the right track? Am I dumb?
Well, I'm such a bad person at this, because I'm always like, well, I don't know, I love Charlotte right now. Charlotte was fun for me. I don't know about everybody else, but Michigan was a lot of fun. 2 years ago, I had a pretty good run with Alpha Prime and felt like we could move around a little bit, and it looked like they could move around more a couple of days ago than we ever could. And then last year we tried that weird half plate package that we run in Atlanta, and I hated the idea of it, but it actually was so much fun to race in, because you just kept getting to people's right quarter and pulling back. And I thought it was a good race. So, I ran good again. So I'll do anything just that our team has an advantage at, I guess, or a less of a disadvantage. But it's a market that I don't think we can miss out on. Our manufacturers are all there, and they always pack the place. So I don't understand why we're not there, but I'm sure it had something to do with the Mexico logistics, because our hauler was parked at the border Sunday. So I hope we go back there next year, though. I'd be pretty upset if we didn't.
Yeah, Xfinity. I feel like there's a lot of tracks for Xfinity races at twice right now, and they're not going to Michigan. They're not going to Richmond. We share the love a little bit. We should be hitting all these places.
Oh my God! Yeah. And New Hampshire. It took all my favorite tracks. Richmond and New Hampshire were my top two going into this year.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear disagreements from half this audience or half this podcast about Richmond being two Richmond natives. So
everybody else hates it, but we like it. So
I love it.
I think
Good
Xfinity
racetrack.
is just good at every racetrack. To be honest, I don't really know if there's one that they're they're bad at. It's the Cup Series that everyone's saying, "Oh, they're bad there."
There was a race recently. I was I think that was pretty boring to watch, but I can't remember which one it was.
But you're not going to hit a home run every single race. Not every race is going to be.
From my perspective.
Yeah, well, they're boring from our perspective too. Sometimes, they're not always going to be absolute nail biters. But I think that kind of makes us appreciate an honest to God real race when we're watching it. I felt like Michigan with the Cup race on Sunday was one of those types of races where it was there wasn't any kind of craziness happening at the end of the race. It was just fuel mileage. It was strategy. It was passing. People could pass. Like that's that pure kind of race, and I feel like a lot of race fans appreciate. And it happened at Michigan, and we saw something similar at Auto Club a couple years ago, and now that track's gone too because a bunch of different, like Noah just said. I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons why that occurred, but it really sucks because I feel like these tracks that are, I guess, underrated, you could say, aren't getting the love that they deserve, and that's because in recent years they haven't put on really crazy, nail-biting, exciting finishes. But now we have the next-gen car, and I feel like people are appreciating them a lot more. Everyone's upset that Auto Club's gone. People really like the Michigan race. People want Xfinity to return to Michigan, understandably so. I think Xfinity should race at every racetrack that we have on the circuit. So, just because, I mean, in my opinion, it's the best series that we've got right now, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with me on that.
Should race at every circuit in America, 100 race seasons.
All of them.
The problem is I'm down for it, but considering I have to sell them all, that would kill me. Yeah.
54 races a year, Ryan.
Road Atlanta, VIR, Laguna Seca. I could name 100.
Can you do back-to-back races in 2 separate days and on two different days? Let's sell that. And then one in Berlin. Is it Michigan? Where it is?
Yeah.
Is it Michigan? Yeah. Berlin, Michigan, and then one in Mexico the next day. Let's make that happen.
Portland, Mexico, and then New Hampshire.
Portland, Mexico, Daytona,
Montreal,
Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
4 days.
So no,
Hey. That's what Richard Petty used to do, man.
Yeah.
Crack your Monday.
He liked it.
I just think, and it's also probably because it's also the fastest. Like, it's what, I don't know if it's fully what super speedway racing used to be. I think that's more of what Atlanta is now. But because of the draft and because of the speed, they're actually going 200 miles per hour. Whereas at Daytona, they're going 180, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting
185, 190.
They're not getting to 200. And to me, like, I know they're trying to make the car safer and everything, but like there's an element of NASCAR where you want to see the guys go as fast as possible. Like, not to tie this completely to IndyCar, but like to me, the most entertaining thing to watch, like qualifying every year, is the Indianapolis 500 qualifying, because it's 4 laps. Yeah, it's 4 laps in the fastest possible car you can make at 230 miles per hour on this razor's edge. And it's just, I kind of want that back in I want that back in NASCAR, and you get that at Michigan with the big speed, and the track is starting to wear, where you're getting now multiple grooves where you can pass. And then you also, and it's gotten every element you want in a race, and it's gotten, this week it was a fuel mileage rate, but it was still entertaining, where you had Buescher coming through the field. You had Gibbs possibly getting his first win, and then you had Denny perfectly execute a game plan where he put enough pressure on William Byron that basically ran William Byron out of fuel and got the lead and won the race. And
I'll say, Amazon Prime, I watched this race. They actually did a phenomenal job, telling people kind of where everybody was at, because that made a very compelling race out of something that if it was not any other broadcast, but some other broadcast, you might not have all that information. Like, I can't remember, what was like the burn meter? Like, I don't know how accurate.
Burn bar.
Are you going to install a burn bar in your car to try to figure out how much gas you're
I need
burning?
an oxygen bar in my car, to see if I'm breathing still, this weekend. I'm taking all the inhalers. I am prepped up.
But yeah, the burn bar is great. It was a great race, but they made it even better with that broadcast. I'm right there with you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Massey. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think all tracks are great to an extent. Maybe not all tracks. Most tracks on the circuit are good, and
can be good. Phases. Can be. I think the key word is
it can be. It's phases. Like, track surfaces go through phases, cars go through phases, and it's like every once in a while they both sync up perfectly to have a perfect race. And so I don't think you can, like if there's a bad race at a track, I don't think you can really blame the track a lot of times. Sometimes,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Rockingham is a track that I think will be good in all conditions, but you see, like they repaved Charlotte, everybody's going to hate it again. Right now, it's perfect. You know, so Pocono's a track that I personally love, but I don't feel like it's put on a phenomenal show. But I don't feel like it's put on a complete boring race either. So I think there's so much recency bias and the age of the pavement and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's why, like, I guess North Wilkesboro is still getting, like, a lot of people are, like, still waiting on North Wilkesboro because it hasn't aged yet. It's still, like, brand new pavement. Granted, I think, speaking of tracks the Xfinity Series should go to,
that's another track.
I think that might be my number one in terms of what I want to see is the Xfinity cars at North Wilkesboro.
Lime Rock.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
It's like a short track of road courses.
Yeah.
That's the trucks are going to Lime Rock, right, this year?
Yeah, I'm jealous. That's such a fun track.
You might as well have Xfinity with them. Why
Just
not?
run us together. Just do it one time. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah. Just start Xfinity, then like 5 minutes later, start trucks. There you go.
So I think Michigan belongs. Like, I don't know if Michigan belongs in the best racetrack just because it's hard to have it's a 2 mile oval. But it probably is. It has replaced Auto Club. Like, Auto Club was part of that conversation, and you basically have taken. Obviously, they're a little bit stylistically different. But I think in terms of maybe because NASCAR did get rid of Auto Club, and Michigan has filled that void in terms of starting to wear out multiple lanes, the 2 mile element to things. I think it's gonna these next couple years, if they don't mess with the track in terms of repaving it, I think we're in store for some really good racing in Michigan. Hopefully Ryan Ellis gets to race there as well. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us this week. Of course, you're about to head down to Mexico in the Tableau 71 Chevrolet. Any other plugs you want to get on in before we get on out of here?
No, just that I'll have an in-car camera, so I got to figure out how to drive this track pretty quick because I've never had one. So I'm just excited because Tableau's done a lot of cool things, whether it's closed captioning or the in-car camera, and I got a bunch of other sponsors like Sweetwater Construction and Southern Elevator, Classic Collision. Just, I don't know, not to be too NASCAR'd out with my name dropping there. But I'm just stoked to go there and do something a little bit different. I think once we get there, it's going to be one of the coolest events of the year. So I don't know how I'm getting there, what I'm going to eat. I know what I'm not going to eat, what I'm not going to drink, and what I'm not going to do, but hopefully we have a good race.
So is the in-car, so the in-car is going to be on the CW, obviously, right? And then,
yeah, right.
Okay. And I'm assuming you can get the CW through Tableau, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
Look at that. Did it for me. Yeah. I see Go Caps through Crosby and the Penguins in the comments.
That's Michael.
Outstanding.
That's Michael Finley, our former colleague here.
Former colleague, open wheel expert.
Yes, hence why he gave a long explanation about F1 and why the F1 GP there, and I ignored it. But we do miss you, Finley. But we appreciate you spending some time with us this week. Speaking of writing, Michael Massie, Dalton Hopkins, you were supposed to go to the race this week. Instead, you quite possibly could be joining me as we react live to the race in Mexico on the Front Stretch Watch Party this week.
Yeah,
which we had a lot of fun doing last week with of course Mike Neff does them all at this point, so he might be joining us as well. But we'll plug that.
We'll be on board up. I don't know if you're doing the Xfinity race, but if you are,
No.
watch my in-car.
I will not be doing the Xfinity race.
Never
We'll
mind.
watch it. We'll watch it. I'll pull
be
up
watching
that on there.
I'm so nervous about like picking my nose, or I have weird tics in the car. I yell at myself, so I'm like.
I don't
so
think it does
freaked out.
sound, so I think you're okay. I've never
you'll
heard
see
of
Well,
it.
as long as you don't scream louder than the engine.
I think it has the scanner on there.
Okay.
Yeah,
What you need to do
I
is-
don't. I'm not.
You need to make the
I
engine
don't key up
noises.
much.
Yeah, just don't press the button.
Yeah, you need to make the engine
Yeah,
noise.
no,
Who was it? Cale Yarborough that
Cale
made the engine
Yarborough,
noise?
yeah.
Made the engine noises. Wow.
Yeah.
Or you could do a good old Dick Trickle and just start
Light up a
I got
cigarette.
to light up a
Yeah.
cigarette.
I'll be hitting this under caution. You'll see.
I was gonna say is just get a candy cigarette, and it'll be just fake it.
I've already asked NASCAR if they have oxygen bottles on site, so yeah, that might be what I'm hitting.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time, Massie. We got a fun article coming out, which for frontstretch.com, which will be debuting on Monday, and we'll be reacting to it next week with a very special guest on Happy Hour. I'm not going to say the guest because every time I do, the person doesn't show up, so I'm not going to say it. But it's a person well known with a good Twitter following that also covers NASCAR, that might write for a news outlet that starts with an A. We'll just leave it with that. And
he's a pretty fit guy, right? Like, he's pretty athletic, right?
Yeah, there we go. I don't know. We can ask him next week. But the article we're putting out is what?
Oh, we got the whole staff together and we voted for the top 10 prospects in NASCAR right now. Xfinity, trucks, ARCA, cars, lawnmower racing, whatever you got out there. We just voted together. And I've compiled all the results and we'll release them next week. So stay tuned for that.
Dalton, are you writing this week?
I sure am. I should be doing Thinking Out Loud this week. Actually, I am doing Thinking Out Loud this week. So, yeah, I don't think I got anything else coming out this week though.
Well,
so
you do have an interview with Jeff Hammond that is out now for our members. If you want to get it early, so if you want to join, if you're watching on our YouTube, become a member of our YouTube channel. You can watch the Jeff Hammond interview that Dalton did early. That interview will also debut during this week's episode of Bringing the Heat with Brian Nolan. I will be co-hosting this week, so tune in for that. Also, as shout out to Wyatt Watson, who's leaving comments throughout. He will have Through the Gears, the betting preview. I hope after he said thanks for coming on the show. Wyatt gives a special Xfinity pick for Ryan Ellis top 10 this week as a special bet this week. Maybe we can work with we don't have a betting sponsor, so I'm not going to say that to get a super boost or something, but maybe we can get one. But Ryan, thanks so much, man. And signing off for now. Thanks so much for everyone for listening to this episode of Happy Hour.